The November rain drummed against the coffee shop windows of Brew and Bean in downtown Portland, Oregon, creating intricate patterns that Maya Chen traced with her finger while nursing her third refill of black coffee. The barista, a kind college student named Jake, had stopped charging her after the first cup, a small mercy she was too grateful to refuse. Maya's laptop screen glowed with another rejection email, the 47th in 2 months. "Thank you for your interest, but we've decided to move forward with other candidates." The words blurred together now, each one a reminder of her dwindling bank account and the eviction notice crumpled in her backpack. At 28, Maya had never imagined she'd be here. 3 months ago, she was a marketing coordinator at a tech startup, living in a decent apartment in the Pearl District, with plans to save for a down payment on a condo. Then the company folded overnight, taking with it not just her job, but also 2 weeks of unpaid salary and her entire sense of security. Her phone buzzed with a text from her landlord. "Final notice, payment due by 5 p.m. today, or we proceed with eviction tomorrow." Maya checked her banking app for the 100th time today, balance $573. Her last unemployment check had been delayed, and her parents in Sacramento, loving but struggling with their own medical bills after her father's heart surgery, couldn't help. The coffee shop buzzed with the usual afternoon crowd, freelancers typing furiously on MacBooks, students cramming for midterms, and business people conducting meetings. Maya felt invisible among them, her professional blazer, now slightly worn at the elbows, the only remnant of her former life. "Excuse me, miss," a gentle voice interrupted her spiraling thoughts. Maya looked up to see an elderly woman with kind eyes and silver hair pulled back in a neat bun. She wore a simple purple coat and carried a worn canvas bag that had seen better days. "I'm sorry to bother you," the woman continued, her voice shaking slightly. "I'm Eleanor, and I'm a bit embarrassed to ask, but I forgot my wallet at home. I've been walking for hours in this rain, and I just need enough for a small coffee to warm up. Would you happen to have a few dollars you could spare?" Maya's heart clenched. Here was someone in immediate need, and despite her own desperate situation, she couldn't turn away from the genuine distress in Eleanor's eyes. Her grandmother had always taught her that kindness was never wasted, even when you had little to give. Without hesitation, Maya reached into her purse and pulled out the crumpled $5 bill, her last $5 in the world. "Of course," Maya said, pressing the money into Eleanor's grateful hands. "Get something warm. This Portland rain can be brutal." Eleanor's eyes filled with tears. "Bless you, dear, you have no idea what this means to me." She paused, studying Maya's face carefully. "You know, you have the kindest eyes. The world needs more people like you." As Eleanor walked toward the counter, Maya felt a strange mixture of panic and peace. She was now officially broke, with no money for bus fare home, no money for food, and certainly no money for rent. Yet something about the interaction had lifted a weight from her chest that she hadn't even realized she was carrying. 20 minutes later, Eleanor returned with her steaming cup of coffee and slid into the seat across from Maya. "I hope you don't mind if I sit with you for a moment," Eleanor said. "I hate drinking alone, and you seemed like you could use some company." Maya smiled, the first genuine smile she'd managed in weeks. "I'd like that." They talked for over an hour. Eleanor shared stories of her late husband, her work as a retired teacher, and her love for traveling before arthritis made it difficult. Maya found herself opening up about her job loss, her struggles, and her fears about the future. "You know," Eleanor said thoughtfully, "I've lived 83 years and I've learned that the universe has a funny way of rewarding genuine kindness. Sometimes it comes back to you in ways you never expect." As the afternoon wore on, the rain finally stopped, and weak sunlight filtered through the clouds. Eleanor gathered her things to leave, but before she did, she pressed a small business card into Maya's hand. "A dear friend of mine works in international business. I'm going to tell her about you, about your kindness and your situation. Sometimes connections happen in the most unexpected ways." The card read, "Victoria Hassan, Senior Director of International Operations, Hassan Global Enterprises." "Eleanor, you don't have to," Maya began. "Nonsense," Eleanor interrupted gently. "Kindness should always be passed forward. Besides, from what you've told me about your marketing background, you might be exactly what she's looking for." After Eleanor left, Maya sat alone with the business card, turning it over in her hands. Hassan Global Enterprises, she'd heard of them, a multinational company specializing in sustainable technology and international development projects. They were exactly the kind of company she'd dreamed of working for. But as the reality of her situation crept back in, Maya tucked the card into her wallet. She had bigger problems to solve first, like where she would sleep tonight and how she would eat tomorrow. The walk back to her apartment took 45 minutes in the damp evening air. With each step, the weight of her decision to give away her last $5 pressed down on her. Had she been foolish? Romantic notions about kindness wouldn't pay her rent or fill her empty stomach. But as she climbed the 3 flights of stairs to her studio apartment, Maya remembered the genuine gratitude in Eleanor's eyes and her grandmother's voice echoing in her memory. Beta, when you give with a pure heart, the universe always finds a way to give back. She unlocked her door to find another eviction notice taped to it. Tomorrow, she would have to face the reality of homelessness. Tonight, though, she would hold on to the warmth of a stranger's gratitude and the slim hope represented by a business card from a woman she'd never met. As Maya prepared for what might be her last night in her own bed, she had no idea that her simple act of kindness had set in motion a chain of events that would change her life in ways she never could have imagined. Maya woke to the harsh sound of her phone ringing at 7:23 a.m. Sunlight streamed through her uncurtained windows. She'd had to sell her curtains the week before, and for a moment she forgot about her situation. Then reality crashed back as she saw 3 missed calls from her landlord and remembered that today was eviction day. The phone rang again. Unknown number with a 503 area code. Local Portland. "Hello," Maya answered groggily. "Good morning. Is this Maya Chen?" The voice was professional, confident, with a slight accent Maya couldn't place. "Yes, this is Maya." "Wonderful. My name is Victoria Hassan from Hassan Global Enterprises. I believe you met my dear friend Eleanor yesterday at a coffee shop downtown." Maya sat up straight, suddenly wide awake. "Eleanor? Yes, Wait, how did you—" "Eleanor called me last evening," Victoria continued warmly. "She told me about your kindness and your background in marketing. She also mentioned you're currently between opportunities." Maya's mind raced. This had to be some kind of mistake. "I am, but I'm not sure why Eleanor would—" "Eleanor has excellent judgment about people," Victoria interrupted gently. "She's been a family friend for over 30 years, and when she calls to recommend someone, I listen. Would you be available to meet this morning? I have something I'd like to discuss with you." Maya glanced around her sparse apartment at the boxes she'd started packing the night before, at the eviction notice on her kitchen counter. Yes, I'm available." "Excellent. Can you meet me at the Heathman Hotel lobby at 9 a.m.? I'm in Portland for just today before flying back to our headquarters." "The Heathman Hotel," Maya repeated, scribbling the details on a napkin. "I'll be there. I look forward to meeting you, Maya. Eleanor spoke very highly of your character." After the call ended, Maya stared at her phone in disbelief. Hassan Global Enterprises wanted to meet with her because she'd bought an elderly woman coffee. It seemed too surreal to be real, but the business card on her nightstand proved yesterday had actually happened. She had 90 minutes to get ready and somehow make it downtown without any money for transportation. Maya rummaged through her closet, selecting her best interview outfit. A navy blue dress she'd bought for her college graduation and a blazer that, while showing wear, still looked professional. The walk to downtown Portland took over an hour, but Maya used the time to research Hassan Global Enterprises on her phone. What she found impressed her. A company founded 15 years ago by Victoria Hassan and her late husband, specializing in sustainable infrastructure projects across the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. They had offices in Dubai, Singapore, London, and New York, with revenues in the hundreds of millions. The Heathman Hotel's elegant lobby intimidated Maya as she approached the concierge. Her dress shoes, the only professional pair she owned, had developed a small hole during the long walk, and she prayed it wasn't noticeable. "Excuse me," she said to the concierge. "I'm here to meet Victoria Hassan?" "Ah yes, Ms. Chen. Ms. Hassan is expecting you in the library bar, right through those doors." Maya entered the sophisticated bar area, scanning the room for someone who looked like a senior director of international operations. She spotted a woman in her 50s sitting at a corner table, impeccably dressed in a cream-colored suit, with intelligent dark eyes and graying hair styled in a sleek bob. She was reviewing documents on a tablet while sipping what appeared to be mint tea. "Ms. Hassan," Maya approached tentatively. Victoria looked up and smiled warmly, rising to greet her. "Maya, please call me Victoria. It's wonderful to meet you." She gestured to the chair across from her. "Please sit. Would you like some tea, coffee?" "Tea would be lovely, thank you." Maya settled into the plush chair, trying to project confidence she didn't feel. Victoria signaled the server and ordered a pot of jasmine tea. "So, Eleanor tells me you showed extraordinary kindness yesterday. In her words, you gave away your last $5 to a stranger without hesitation." Maya felt heat rise in her cheeks. "She told you that." "She did, and it tells me everything I need to know about your character." Victoria leaned forward slightly. "Let me be direct, Maya. I've spent my career working in international development, and I've learned that technical skills can be taught, but integrity and genuine compassion cannot. Those qualities are increasingly rare in business." The tea arrived, and Victoria poured for both of them. "Eleanor also mentioned you have a background in marketing and have been searching for opportunities. Tell me about your experience." For the next 20 minutes, Maya shared her professional background, her marketing degree from Portland State University, her 3 years at the tech startup, her campaigns that increased user engagement by 40%, and her experience with international market research. Victoria listened intently, occasionally asking insightful questions about Maya's strategic thinking and cultural adaptability. Maya found herself relaxing as the conversation flowed naturally. "I'm impressed," Victoria said finally. "Your experience with digital marketing and cultural research is exactly what we need for a new initiative we're launching." She paused, studying Maya carefully. "How do you feel about international travel, specifically the Middle East?" Maya's heart began to race. "I've always wanted to work internationally. I actually studied Arabic for 2 years in college, though I'm not fluent." "Interesting." Victoria made a note on her tablet. "Maya, I'm going to be very direct with you because I believe in transparency. We have an urgent need for a marketing and cultural liaison for our expanding operations in the Gulf region, specifically based in Dubai. The position involves developing marketing strategies for our sustainable infrastructure projects, building relationships with local partners, and ensuring our communications are culturally appropriate and effective." Maya tried to keep her expression neutral, but her pulse quickened. "The role offers a competitive salary, $95,000 annually to start, plus housing allowance, health insurance, and performance bonuses. Most importantly, it offers the opportunity to work on projects that genuinely make a difference in people's lives: clean water systems, renewable energy installations, sustainable housing developments." Maya's mind reeled. 3 hours ago, she was facing eviction. Now someone was offering her a 6-figure job in Dubai. "I realize this is sudden," Victoria continued, "but we need someone to start within 2 weeks. Our previous liaison had to return to the States unexpectedly for family reasons, and we have crucial project presentations scheduled for early December." "2 weeks," Maya managed to say. "I know it's fast, but everything would be handled. Visa processing, relocation assistance, temporary housing until you find your own place." "We've done this many times," Victoria smiled. "The question is, are you interested in the opportunity?" Maya thought of her empty bank account, the eviction notice, the months of rejection emails. Then she thought of Eleanor's words about the universe rewarding kindness and her grandmother's belief in the power of giving with a pure heart. "Yes," Maya said firmly, "I'm very interested." Victoria's smile widened. "Excellent. I had hoped you'd say that." She reached into her briefcase and pulled out a folder. "These are preliminary documents: job description, benefit package, relocation timeline. I'd like you to review everything tonight and call me tomorrow with any questions." She handed Maya the folder along with her business card. "There is one more thing," Victoria added. "Eleanor asked me to give you this." Victoria placed a small envelope on the table. Maya's name was written on it in elegant cursive. "She wanted you to have it after our meeting," Victoria explained. Maya opened the envelope with trembling fingers. Inside was a handwritten note. "Dear Maya, yesterday, when you gave me your last $5, you showed me that kindness still exists in this world. Your generosity reminded me why I've spent my retirement looking for ways to help young people who deserve better opportunities. Victoria is not just my friend. She's like a daughter to me. I called her because I knew she would recognize your worth just as I did. Sometimes angels appear when we need them most. Yesterday you were mine. Today, I hope I can be yours. With love and gratitude, Eleanor P.S. The universe always finds a way. Maya looked up to find Victoria watching her with knowing eyes. Eleanor has a gift for seeing people's true nature, Victoria said softly. And she was right about you. I hope you'll consider joining our team, Maya. I have a feeling you're exactly what we've been looking for. As Maya walked out of the Heathman Hotel an hour later, the folder of documents clutched in her hands, she couldn't quite believe what had just happened. 24 hours ago, she had given away her last $5 to a stranger. Now she was holding the offer of a lifetime. The November sun broke through the Portland clouds as if the city itself was celebrating her good fortune. Maya pulled out her phone and called her landlord. Mr. Rodriguez, it's Maya Chen. About the rent. I'm going to need a few more days to sort out my situation, but I can assure you, everything is going to be fine. Maya spent the rest of Tuesday in a coffee shop. Ironically, the same Brew and Bean where she'd met Eleanor, poring over the documents Victoria had given her. The job description read like something from her dreams. Developing marketing strategies for sustainable infrastructure projects, conducting cultural research for international partnerships, and serving as a liaison between Hassan Global's Dubai office and their diverse client base across the Middle East and North Africa. The salary and benefits package was more generous than anything she'd ever imagined. Beyond the $95,000 base salary, there was a $24,000 annual housing allowance, comprehensive health insurance, and performance bonuses that could add another $15,000 to $20,000 per year. Most remarkably, Hassan Global would handle all visa processing, provide a $5,000 relocation stipend, and offer temporary corporate housing for her first month in Dubai. Jake, the barista who'd been giving her free coffee refills, noticed her spread of documents. "Job interview go well?" he asked during a quiet moment. "Better than well," Maya replied, still somewhat dazed. "I think I just got offered a job in Dubai." "Dubai? Like United Arab Emirates Dubai?" Jake's eyes widened. "That's incredible. What kind of job?" As Maya explained the opportunity, she realized how surreal it all sounded. 48 hours ago, she was facing homelessness. Now she was considering moving to the other side of the world for a dream job, all because she'd bought a stranger coffee. That evening, Maya called her parents in Sacramento. Her mother, Linda, answered on the second ring. "Maya, sweetheart, how are you? Any news on the job front?" Maya took a deep breath. "Mum, you might want to sit down and maybe put Dad on speaker." She explained everything. Meeting Eleanor, giving away her last $5, Victoria's call, the job offer. Her parents listened in stunned silence. "Dubai?" Her father, Robert, finally said. "That's halfway around the world, Beta." "I know, Dad, but this is an incredible opportunity. The company does amazing work. Sustainable infrastructure, clean water projects, renewable energy. It's everything I've wanted to do." "But you don't know anything about living in the Middle East," her mother interjected, worry evident in her voice. "The culture, the language, Actually, I studied Arabic in college, remember? And I've done research on Middle Eastern markets. Plus, the company provides cultural orientation and has a strong expat support network." Maya had spent hours researching Dubai and Hassan Global's employee resources. Her father was quiet for a moment. "You know, your grandmother always said that when the universe opens a door, you should walk through it, even if you can't see what's on the other side." "Robert," her mother protested. "No, Linda, think about it. Maya's been struggling for months and then she does one act of pure kindness and this happens. That's not coincidence. That's meant to be." Maya felt tears prick her eyes. "I'm scared," she admitted, "but I'm also excited. This could change everything for me. For all of us," she added, thinking of her parents' medical bills. Her mother sighed. "If this is what you want, we'll support you. But promise me you'll be careful, and promise you'll come home for Christmas." "I promise, Mom." The next morning, Maya called Victoria at 9 a.m. sharp. "Good morning, Maya. I hope you've had time to review everything." "I have, and I'm ready to accept the position," Maya said without hesitation. "Wonderful." Victoria's delight was evident. "I knew Eleanor was right about you. Now let's discuss logistics." Can you be ready to fly out a week from Monday? That gives us just over 10 days to handle your visa, which should be sufficient for expedited processing. Maya's head spun. That fast? I know it seems rushed, but we have client presentations scheduled for December 3rd and 4th, and I really need you there for the cultural context and marketing perspective. Plus, I think you'll find that once you start the process, momentum builds quickly. Victoria was right. Over the next 10 days, Maya's life transformed at breakneck speed. Hassan Global's HR department was incredibly efficient, walking her through visa applications, medical examinations, and document authentication. They connected her with a relocation specialist who helped her sort through her belongings, deciding what to ship to Dubai and what to store or sell. The hardest part was leaving her apartment. As she packed her final boxes on Sunday morning, Maya thought about how different her life had been just 2 weeks ago. She'd been desperate, broke, and facing homelessness. Now she was preparing for the adventure of a lifetime. Her landlord, Mr. Rodriguez, stopped by as she was loading boxes into a friend's car. "I have to admit," he said sheepishly, "I never expected this when I gave you that final notice." "Dubai, huh? Life has a funny way of surprising you," Maya replied, echoing Eleanor's wisdom. "Well, I wish you the best. And hey, if it doesn't work out, you've got a reference for being the most honest tenant I've ever had." Maya's friend Sarah, who was helping with the move, shook her head in amazement. "I still can't believe this is real. 2 weeks ago, you were crying in my living room about being broke, and now you're moving to Dubai for a 6-figure job." "I know. Sometimes I wonder if I'm dreaming," Maya admitted. "You're not dreaming, you're just getting what you deserve for being a genuinely good person." The flight to Dubai was scheduled for Monday evening, with a layover in London. Victoria would meet Maya at Dubai International Airport Tuesday evening local time. Hassan Global had booked her in business class, Maya's first time flying anything other than economy, and she spent the 14-hour journey alternating between excitement and nervousness. As the Emirates flight descended toward Dubai on Tuesday evening, Maya pressed her face to the window and gasped. The city sprawled below her in a glittering display of modern architecture and lights. The Burj Khalifa pierced the sky like a gleaming needle, surrounded by other impossibly tall buildings. The coastline traced an elegant curve along the Persian Gulf, dotted with palm-shaped artificial islands. "First time in Dubai?" asked the woman sitting next to her, a British expat who worked for an oil company. "Yes," Maya replied, unable to hide her wonder. "I'm starting a new job here." "You'll love it," the woman assured her. "Dubai is like nowhere else in the world. It's modern and traditional, international and deeply Arabian. Give yourself time to adjust, but I think you'll find it quite addictive." Walking through Dubai International Airport, Maya was struck by the efficiency and beauty of everything around her. The terminal was spacious and gleaming, with elegant Arabic calligraphy alongside English signage. Women in traditional abayas walked alongside business people in Western suits, families in casual clothes, and tourists in everything from shorts to formal wear. Victoria had told her to look for a driver holding a Hassan Global sign near the arrival gate. Maya spotted him easily, a kind-faced man in his 40s wearing a crisp white shirt and black pants. "Ms. Maya Chen?" he asked with a warm smile and slight Indian accent. "Yes, that's me. Welcome to Dubai. I am Rashid, your driver. Ms. Victoria is waiting for you at the office. She thought you might like to see it tonight before going to your temporary apartment." As they drove through Dubai's illuminated streets, Maya felt like she was entering a dream. The architecture was breathtaking. Gleaming glass towers, elegant curves, and innovative designs that seemed to defy gravity. Palm trees lined perfectly maintained boulevards, and everything felt new, clean, and full of possibility. "First time in Dubai?" Rashid asked, navigating the traffic with practiced ease. "Yes, it's incredible." "Dubai is a city of dreams," Rashid said proudly. "People come here from everywhere to build new lives. I came from Mumbai 12 years ago, and now my family lives here. My children go to excellent schools. Dubai gives people chances." Maya thought about Eleanor's words about the universe rewarding kindness and her grandmother's belief in taking leaps of faith. As they pulled up to Hassan Global's gleaming office building in the Dubai International Financial Center, Maya realized she was no longer the desperate woman who had given away her last $5 2 weeks ago. She was about to become the person she had always dreamed of being. Maya's first month in Dubai passed in a whirlwind of discovery, learning, and professional challenges that stretched her abilities in the best possible way. Victoria had been right about momentum building quickly. From her first day at Hassan Global's Dubai office, Maya found herself immersed in projects that were both meaningful and exciting. The Hassan Global offices occupied 3 floors of a sleek tower in the Dubai International Financial Center, with floor-to-ceiling windows offering panoramic views of the city's skyline. Maya's office, which she shared with Amira, a brilliant Emirati engineer who specialized in renewable energy systems, faced the Burj Khalifa and the beautiful Dubai fountain. "You know," Amira told her during their first week working together, "Victoria has been looking for the right cultural liaison for almost a year. She interviewed dozens of candidates, but never found someone who understood both the business side and the cultural nuances we need." Maya was learning that Hassan Global's work was even more impressive than she'd initially realized. Their current projects included a solar energy installation in Jordan that would provide power to 50,000 homes, a water purification system in Morocco that would serve rural communities, and a sustainable housing development in Oman that incorporated traditional architectural elements with modern efficiency technology. The December client presentations that had necessitated her quick arrival turned out to be crucial meetings with potential partners for a massive infrastructure project in Egypt. Maya's cultural research and marketing strategy proved invaluable. She'd spent weeks studying Egyptian business customs, economic development priorities, and communication preferences. "Your insights about the importance of family legacy in Egyptian business culture completely changed how we approached the presentation," Victoria told her after the successful meetings. Other clients specifically mentioned how impressed they were with our cultural sensitivity and understanding of their long-term vision. The project they'd won would bring clean water access to over 200,000 people in rural Egyptian communities. Maya felt a deep satisfaction knowing that her work was contributing to something that would genuinely improve people's lives. But it wasn't just the professional success that made Dubai feel like home. The city itself enchanted Maya daily. She loved the diversity. Colleagues from India, Pakistan, the Philippines, Lebanon, Jordan, Britain, Australia, and dozens of other countries. She enjoyed exploring traditional souks filled with spices, gold, and textiles, then having dinner at world-class restaurants featuring cuisine from every corner of the globe. The weather in December was perfect, sunny and warm during the day, pleasantly cool in the evenings. Maya had moved from Hassan Global's temporary housing into her own one-bedroom apartment in a modern building near the Dubai Marina, with a view of the harbour and easy access to the metro system. 3 weeks into December, Maya received an unexpected email that made her heart race. "Dear Maya, I hope this note finds you well and thriving in your new adventure. Victoria has been sending me updates about your work, and I couldn't be more proud of what you've accomplished. I wanted you to know that your kindness that day in the coffee shop has continued to inspire me. I've started volunteering with a local organization that helps young professionals who are facing job loss and housing insecurity. Your example reminded me that sometimes the smallest gestures can have the biggest impact. I hope you'll stay in touch. I would love to hear about your experiences in Dubai. With love and admiration, Eleanor P.S. I told you the universe always finds a way." Maya immediately replied, sharing stories about her work, her new life in Dubai, and how grateful she remained for Eleanor's intervention. That evening she called her parents to share the update. "You know," her father said thoughtfully, "I've been thinking about that day you gave away your last $5. Your grandmother used to tell a story about a time during the war when she gave her last piece of bread to a hungry child. She said that act of generosity led to meeting your grandfather the next day. He was the child's older brother, and he sought her out to thank her." "I never heard that story," Maya said. "She said kindness creates ripples we can't always see immediately, but they always come back to us somehow." Maya's mother added, "Speaking of ripples, we have some news. Dad's medical bills have been weighing on us, as you know, but we just received an unexpected insurance settlement from an old claim. It's enough to pay off everything and still have some left over." "That's wonderful," Maya exclaimed. "We're also planning to visit you in Dubai for your birthday in March," her mother continued. "We've never traveled internationally, but we figured it's time for our own adventure." As the months passed, Maya's role at Hassan Global continued to evolve and expand. Victoria began including her in strategic planning meetings, recognizing her insights about cultural dynamics and market opportunities. By spring, Maya was leading her own projects and had been promoted to senior cultural and marketing specialist with a corresponding salary increase. But perhaps the most meaningful development came in April, when Hassan Global announced a new initiative, a scholarship and mentorship program for young professionals from underserved communities who wanted to work in sustainable development. Victoria asked Maya to help design and lead the program. "I want this to be about more than just job skills," Victoria explained during a planning meeting. "I want it to be about recognizing potential in people, even when they can't see it themselves. Sometimes people just need someone to believe in them and give them a chance." Maya thought immediately of Eleanor's belief in her, of Victoria's willingness to hire her based on an elderly woman's recommendation, of the chain of kindness that had transformed her life. "I'd love to work on this," Maya said. "I think I know exactly what kind of program we should create." On a warm evening in May, exactly 6 months after she'd given away her last $5 in a Portland coffee shop, Maya sat on her apartment balcony overlooking Dubai Marina. The sun was setting over the harbor, painting the sky in brilliant oranges and pinks. The city's lights were beginning to twinkle in the growing dusk. Her phone buzzed with a text from Eleanor. "Thinking of you today and hoping you're as happy as you deserve to be." Maya smiled and typed back, "Happier than I ever imagined possible. Thank you for showing me that kindness is never wasted." Eleanor responded immediately, "You showed me that, dear. I just helped the universe along a little bit." As Maya watched the last light fade from the sky, she reflected on the incredible journey that had brought her here. 6 months ago, she'd been facing eviction, unemployment, and despair. She'd given away her last $5, not because she expected anything in return, but because it was simply the right thing to do. Now she had a career she loved, working on projects that made a real difference in the world. She had a beautiful home in an amazing city, colleagues who'd become friends, and the confidence that came from knowing she could handle whatever challenges life might bring. Most importantly, she'd learned that her grandmother and Eleanor had been right. Kindness creates ripples that spread far beyond what we can see. Her simple act of generosity had led not just to her own transformation, but to the scholarship program that would help dozens of other young people find their own paths to meaningful careers. Maya's phone rang, interrupting her thoughts. Victoria's name appeared on the screen. "Maya, I hope I'm not calling too late." "Not at all, Victoria." "What's up?" "I just wanted to let you know the board approved our proposal for the scholarship program. We'll be able to offer 15 full scholarships in the first year, with mentorship and job placement support." Maya felt tears of joy spring to her eyes. "That's incredible news." "It is. And Maya, I want you to know that hiring you was one of the best decisions I've ever made. You've brought something special to our team, not just professional skills, but heart. That matters more than you might realize." After the call ended, Maya remained on her balcony, watching the lights of Dubai twinkle like earthbound stars. She thought about all the young people who would soon get the same kind of unexpected opportunity she'd received, and how their own acts of kindness might create new ripples of positive change in the world. She pulled out her laptop and began typing an email to Eleanor. "Dear Eleanor, 6 months ago you told me that the universe has a funny way of rewarding genuine kindness. You were right, but not in the way I expected. The real reward wasn't the job or the salary, or even this amazing new life I'm building in Dubai. The real reward was learning that I had the power to make a difference all along. I just needed to believe in myself the way you believed in me. Thank you for showing me that kindness is the most powerful force in the universe, and that it always comes back to us, usually when we need it most. With endless gratitude and love, Maya P.S." The universe always finds a way, and sometimes it sends us angels disguised as strangers in coffee shops. As Maya sent the email and closed her laptop, she smiled at the thought that somewhere in Portland, an elderly woman named Eleanor was probably helping another struggling young person discover their own potential for greatness. And somewhere else in the world, someone was probably about to give away their last $5 to a stranger, never imagining that such a simple act of kindness could change everything. The universe, Maya had learned, always finds a way. Sometimes it just needs a little help from people brave enough to give with pure hearts, even when they have almost nothing left to give.